Good morning. This is Betty, Fancy Grandma. If you like my videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell and you'll be notified every time I make a new one. I've got a subscriber that wants me to make some sauerkraut, so I'm going to show you how to make sauerkraut today. It's very simple. It just takes a little while to do it. But anyway, I've got a bowl here. I'm cutting my cabbage up and putting it in here, and I've got scales. I'm going to kind of weigh out, see how much I've got. But anyway, it's what you do. You take your cabbage and slice it just as thin as you can slice it. If you've got a shredder, that's great, but I'm just going to show you how to do it with a knife. We just keep a shredding it cut it about as thick as a dime. You don't want it real thick. And I cut the cores out because I don't want no cores and hard stuff in mine. But anyway, what we're going to do is just cut this completely up and put it in that bowl, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it after we do that. Keep putting it in your bowl. And I don't never use any metal on mine or plastic. I always use glass. So we're going to put it in a glass bowl. But this looks like it's kind of thick, so I don't know if I want to use much of it or not. I think this is about all I'm going to take off of here. Anyway, I just wanted to show you how you can cut it really, really thin, just as thin as you can cut it. And put it in your bowl. Okay, I've got about 1.5 pounds of cabbage here. And I'm going to put a tablespoon of salt. It probably won't hurt to have a little more, but I'm putting a tablespoon. Then we're going to mix it and get that salt in there and let it start wilting down. That salt will make your cabbage wilt. You can even put a wee bit more if you want. I'll put about 1.5 tablespoons. Okay, let her wilt. We're going to leave this sit there a few minutes till it starts wilting down. Get this out of my way because I don't need it no more. It's real simple to make sauerkraut. It's just like I said, it's kind of time consuming and you got to wait for it to make, which is about 3 to 6 weeks, but you can eat it as soon as it starts to sour. And sauerkraut is very, very, very good for you. Anything fermented is very good for you. So anyway, we're just going to let this wilt down a wee bit. And then we're going to pack it in a glass jar or jars or whatever you want to put it in, but never ever put it in metal. So I'm going to take this sauerkraut. It's starting to feel like it's starting to wilt a little bit. Make sure the salt's mixed in it good. But this is going to be our cabbage we're going to put in that jar. If you got a regular kraut jar, is good, but I'm going to put mine in this jar. As you put it in, pack it down. You got to pack. Get that packed in there. Just make sure you pack it really hard in there. So it's got to be packed really tight to ferment. You can make bigger batches, but this is all I'm going to make because I don't really need that much kraut. But just make sure it's packed in really tight. And use a wooden spoon to pack it with. Don't use any kind of metal container for thing. But this is going to be one of the easiest things you've made. Actually, it's really easy. Nothing to it. Everybody thinks making kraut is a big deal. It's not. It's so simple. Mom used to make it. She used to have grape leaves she laid on top of it because it kept it weighted down. She puts a weight on it. But just push this down in there. Just push until you get it tight. We're trying to get some juice to come up over it. And if you can't get it, if it don't have no juice coming up over it, you can add a little water to it because you got to have it covered with juice or water. But see, it don't make a lot when you get through. You just keep packing it in there. And that little big old bowl I had didn't really make that much, but it'll be plenty when you get it made because it's going to be in there tight. That's why when you buy a can of it, it's so much in a can because it's packed so tight. Anyway, we just want to pack that in just as tight as we can pack it. And mine don't seem to be like it's getting much soup over it, or water, I guess you call it. So I'm gonna have to put a little bit of water in it. I'm gonna pour about half a cup of water in it. Because we want that covered. It's got to be covered. That salt will make it start wilting down after a while. And the juice will start bubbling out of it. That was a third of a cup of water. I'm going to put another third in it. Make sure it's covered. Okay, now what we're going to do, we need something to weight that down, but I don't have nothing to weight it down, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But anyway, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to kind of wipe the side of the jars down so it'll be cleaner. Now I'm going to take a cheesecloth or a piece of cloth, a coffee filter, anything to put on top of this jar. You don't want to put a lid on it because it bubbles and it has to get out, the bubbles. Now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to take it and set it in something because it could bowl out. I'll probably set it in a bowl. Set that in a bowl, and I'm going to set it in a room. I'll probably put it in one of my spare bedrooms or somewhere just out of the way. Anyway, that's all there is to it. And then every day you look at it and it'll have scum coming up on it. So you want to take something and just dip that scum off of it every day or two. Clean it up really good. And put your little cover back on it. And in 3 to 6 weeks, you'll have a delicious jar of sauerkraut. You can start eating before then, but it gets really sour in 6 weeks. But 3 weeks is plenty good. But anyway, that's how simple it is to make sauerkraut. And when it gets made, you can put it in the refrigerator and it'll keep long. Take the cover off, put it in the refrigerator, and it'll keep for a long time in the refrigerator. But anyway, that's the way to make sauerkraut. You have a blessed day, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.